Welcome back to Brand Pulse Unplugged. That's platform that connects you with the market and the brands. So today, 10th June 2026, is the 10th day that we opened the Consumer Value Awards voting portal. That portal has over 30 categories of brands and government institutions for you to vote for your brand of choice at various levels for various things. Now, interesting thing is that in the last 10 days, we have recorded over 2,000 votes, which means consumers have taken the driver's seat, consumers are speaking, and you, if you are yet to cast your vote, should visit their website to vote. Because we are trying to build trust in our conversation, which is what Consumer Value Award is basically, a consumer trust and intelligence platform. This is an opportunity for you to let us see which of the brands do you trust. And the big question is, what is trust to you and what is trust to the manufacturer of the product and services? A couple of days back, we spoke with practitioners of communications, and this is what they say about what influences trust in the marketplace.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Victoria, you are?
I'm Rita, you know.
All right, so quick one. What single factor most influences consumer trust in a brand today?
For me, as a consumer, I would say it will be price and at the same time, transparency. If a brand is transparent about their brand and takes us through the process of how the brand is being made, why not if not? If a brand is transparent, I'll have more trust in the brand. And then if the price is right, over time, of course, yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Victoria.
Samuel.
So I would like to ask you just one question.
Okay.
What single factor mostly influences consumer trust in a brand today?
I believe is brand trust. That's what determines brand trust. Brand that is seen over and over again.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria.
Okay.
Please, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Stella Sawyer. I'm the head public relations for Apple and PS. Let me say.
What single factor do you think most influences consumers' trust in a brand today?
I think it has to do with the acceptability of the products, especially if it has to do with products that you consume. If people, had consumed one and they had, there's this thing about people insisting that, oh, I've tried this product. If you try it too, you will benefit from it. So I think it's about people's acceptability and communicating it to their friends. Then advertising also helps too. Advertising also helps with what you see every day. There's this tendency that, oh, this thing that is being advertised is a good product.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Ethel Adeyebe.
Sorry, from which company?
Led Vision Technology.
Please, what do you understand by the word trust?
I don't know how to say it, but when you say you trust somebody, you have confidence that the person or the thing will not fail you.
All right, so what single factor do you think influences consumers' trust in a brand today?
If the brand is consistent with quality, consistency in quality, any consumer will run with that brand.
And they will keep on patronizing.
They will keep patronizing.
Hi, good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria.
Nice to meet you, Victoria. My name is Efe.
From which company?
Brand Squad.
What do you understand by the word trust?
Trust is an ingredient of relationship. It's what
Nice.
keeps relationships going for a very long time. That's how I would describe trust in very simple terms.
So what single factor do you think influences consumer trust in a brand today?
I don't think it's a single factor. I think it might start with several factors, and then it might be narrowed down to a single factor over time, like consistent delivery of quality. But when it comes to trust, it might start as the way you're perceived. So I might have heard about you. I might have heard that you are a good brand, and I could make an impression based on the information I have received. But the actual trust that then sustains it is your ability to deliver on that promise. What I've heard about you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria.
My name is Olayinka Olasheni.
From which company?
Oh, okay. So I, up until recently, used to work with TPT International as their senior business development and client service executive.
So what do you understand by the word trust?
Trust, essentially, I would say, is to be able to rely on someone or something.
And what single factor do you think influences consumer trust in a brand today?
In a brand, consistency. Because at the end of the day, whether or not you deliver quality, if today brands cannot trust that they would get quality today and quality tomorrow, if that's consistency isn't there, at the end of the day, brands feel like they can't rely on you. And because they can't rely on you, they can't trust you ultimately. So I think consistency. And of course, while you are consistent, you want to ensure that what you are doing is that you are giving quality
Yeah, of course.
in the best form to the clients. So I would say consistency. That's my number one anyway.
All right, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria, and you?
My name is Opeye Miracle.
From which company?
I am actually a student of Olabisi Onopande University.
Oh, nice. So, quick one. What do you understand by the word trust?
I would say trust is when you believe in someone, when you think that, okay, this person can actually do this thing for me. And
It's capable.
yes, like the person is capable. So you tend to like trust that person and like you tend to believe more in that person that, okay, this person can actually do this for me. So that way you trust the person.
Okay, so what single factor influences consumer trust in a brand?
Okay, for a consumer to trust in a brand, that means like they'll probably patronize you more. So for them to build that trust, to build that, it can be different things. It can be the connection that the consumer has built with the brand. It can be their price. There's usually like something special, maybe the unique selling point of the organization.
Yeah.
So that would make the consumer feel like more trustworthy of that brand.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria, and you?
My name is Olaito.
From which company?
Okay, so I'm a student and I care.
All right. So when you hear the word consumer trust, what comes to your mind?
Okay, so that is like the confidence consumers have in brands they engage with.
What single factor do you think influences consumer trust in a brand?
The transparency of a brand, how a brand comes clean to its consumers, carries them along, and makes them feel good, I guess.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria, and you?
Okay, Niola Mayowa is my name.
Okay, from which company, ma?
I work for Stepcraft, the TR agency.
When you hear the word consumer trust, what comes to your mind, ma?
Consumer trust for me is a belief that consumer have in a brand, that they believe that this brand will give me value for my money, that it can meet my need, because every investment in terms of cost and spend is all about meeting a need. So if a brand meets the need of the consumer, that is consumer trust. Trust that it will deliver on the purpose and the reason why I'm spending my hard-earned money on that brand.
Okay, so what single factor do you think influences consumer trust in a brand today?
Brand promise and deliverable. If a brand says, I will give you this, and I'm subscribed to that brand and I get the value, it means the promises, it deliver on the promises it's offered, then that's consumer trust for me.
All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Prince Abiodun Olatunbosun. I work with Nigerian Stock Public Relations.
When you hear the word consumer trust, what comes to your mind?
Well, trust itself is a very big word. That 5-letter word you look at has a lot of influence and end results. It is small, easy to pronounce, but it has a long way to determine so many things. Either in marriage, in business, in family get together, even in local friends, peer groups. Trust is very, very, very important. If anything is not built on trust, that thing is as good as not existing, and it can even do a lot of damage. So if a consumer has a trust, for example, in a bottle of water, I don't want to mention any brand now.
All right.
The moment you open that water, you don't even to look at it 2 times before you start consuming it. That is the trust you have on that product. And even food. There are some places you go to eat. There are some restaurants you go to eat. You don't even look at the food. Immediately you are served, you dip your spoon and you start eating. And the same thing with relationship. In a relationship where there's no trust, even when you send me a message, I begin to doubt that message before working on it. And it goes a long way to even affect us as a country. If you don't trust your government, even sometimes when the government is saying the truth, in their own honesty, they are delivering the truth. But because you don't have the trust in them, you begin to doubt their message. So trust is a very, very big word, and it has a long way to determine so many things in life.
All right. So what major factor do you think influences consumer trust in brands today?
1, the product itself. The product itself is very, very fundamental. Forget about the package, forget about the price, all those, the mix, the marketing mix, forget about it. The product itself is number 1. No matter how good an advertising is, and no matter how good a public relation message is done on a product, if that product fails the test of trust, it will not go more than once to that person. But if you are able to keep the product according to the message you have giving. For example, now you tell somebody that you want to slim down. If you take 3 bottles of this drink, you will gradually lose about 3 kilograms within a week. And the person measures his weight after taking the product, and in a week, the weight is not going down. The person begins to have a distrust. So the product is number one.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria, and
My name is Monday Ashubogo. I work with BillsWorks.
so when you hear the word consumer trust, what comes to your mind?
The ability to reliably count on a product or service that is being rendered, and you are rest assured that the mindset you have about that product meets your expectations.
Okay, so people, what major factor do you think influences consumer trust in a brand?
Reliability is very fundamental. Responsiveness is key. The ability to repeat that experience for the consumer, very fundamental.
You have heard from communication experts what trust or what single thing can influence trust in the marketplace. You, as the consumer, you take your hard-earned money to exchange for value of a brand, of a service, of a corporate institution or government institution. That is a sign that you trust that brand. So join this conversation and let us hear from you what you think trust is to you as a consumer. So join this conversation, go into the comment section and tell us what trust is to you. My name is Akonte Ikine, and this is Brand Pulse Unplugged. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more. Thank you.